Bem, vamos conversar com o professor Carlo Giglio, que certamente, bom, ele está na Itália, provavelmente, né? Então ele já lá deve ser depois do almoço. Vamos lá. Estamos aqui no aguardo da entrada do professor Carlo Giglio. Dear Professor Carlo.
Olá.
Olá.
Olá, obrigado for your invitation to the SemeAd and to the interview today. I'm very pleased. Muito obrigado.
We thank you very much, Professor Carlo, not only for accepting our invitation to come to SemeAd, but also for this interview. As you know, as many of the conferences this year, we came for an online mode, as we came for this online, let me say, system for the conference, we have some ideas of how improving the conference, and one of the ideas is the SemeAd TV. Okay, so now you are at the SemeAd TV. Welcome to the SemeAd TV. This initiative, we are broadcasting this transmission not only to our conference people. The conference people can watch the SemeAd TV at the conference platform, but also this transmission is connected to the YouTube and it's open for anyone, mainly for people in academia. We are, let me say, experimenting a very interesting initiative. Just to have an idea, we have around 2,000 conference people at SemeAd this year. To be precise, 1,962 conferencemen. Yesterday, we have more than 1,300 people from the conference who watched the TV. Let me say, single people. Altogether, we have, let me say, more than 4,000 hits watching the SemeAd TV. So, okay, we have really, let me say, experimented a success in this initiative. And tell me, Carlo, is this your first time here in Brazil?
Well, yes, it is my first time virtually in Brazil. I have many colleagues, but I was waiting for this year to come, but you know, unexpected events didn't allow me to participate physically, but still I'm very happy to be here virtually and to participate in this great event. Congratulations for all the organization. Very excellent organization, very efficient, and also I've seen the full program, very rich, spanning over different areas of knowledge and competencies. As you said, almost 2,000 participants, delegates presenting, and I'm very happy to be part of this great event.
Thank you. I'm sorry to be joking with you, of course. We are not in Brazil, but it's a way, okay, of joking in the middle of this pandemic. You have, let me say, to joke sometimes. And tell me, so you are, I suppose, in Italy this moment?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm in Italy.
What time is it for you now?
Is it 2 p.m.?
Okay,
yeah,
so I should better start in this conversation saying good afternoon, Professor Carlo.
Yeah, and good morning for you.
Thank you very much. So, well, later on today you were going to have a speech and you were going to talk about smart cities, don't you?
Yes, exactly. I'm going to talk about smart cities and more specifically logistics innovation. So my talk will be especially focused on people and freight mobility in urban areas, which is a very hot topic today. It was already before the pandemic, but it became much more relevant also during the pandemic, and also to understand what will be the future trends in respect of the pandemic and all the change that will be applied to the field of mobility for both people and freight goods to be delivered at our doorsteps, for example. So very practical examples of how our life will be affected by this all these changes.
Interesting. I'm sure people is watching and seeing a little bit what you're going to talk later on. And well, talking about logistics, it seems that the vaccine will come. The vaccine for COVID-19 will come. But we are always already discussing what's going to be the logistics, because everybody want to take this vaccine at the same time, okay? And the cities, okay, are not really, of course, the vaccine the population is something that is done in all over the world. But usually we have a program in long term, let me say several months to do that. And now people are wondering to have the vaccine immediately. Okay, I don't know if you stop to think about that and if there's something new in this scenario of smart cities to deal with this challenge, Carlo.
Well, thank you very much for this very interesting and important question. Well, I'm going also to touch this point and to cover in part of my keynote speech this aspect, because after having the vaccine ready, and we all hope it will be finally ready and available for all over the world, but we need to deliver it to make it available to people. Otherwise, our efforts can be, wasted. So what we need to do now is, and already some countries are trying to do this, organizing the supply chain, organizing the supply of those centers that in each country will be devoted to vaccine delivery, and so there will be a lot of topics about that. Like, for example, first the conservation during the transportation. So we need to look very carefully at the conditions for the transportation of the vaccine, because it is a very valuable product, because it saves our lives, human lives. So we need to focus on the frozen supply chains, because we know that some of these vaccines will have very strict conditions for conservation, so very low temperature. They talk about, big pharma talks about minus 80, minus 60 Celsius degrees for one of these vaccines. So we need to focus on that. And there is another dramatic change that may affect this aspect, because another point will be, will we have the equipment and machineries and also the vehicles available for this kind of very different delivery compared to the delivery of other pharmaceutical drugs and other products like
Sure.
like foods. So will we have available this kind of vehicles? Some pharmaceutical companies told us that they will maybe try to provide their own supply competencies and maybe also resources, also maybe some, equipment, parts of vehicles that can be adapted in existing vehicles, so that we can still be fast in the delivery, do not wait for too much for new plans for the supply chain, so adapting the actual supply chains that are are already working and being resilient because they have learned a lot. Our supply chains all over the world have learned a lot in order to make it available. Foods during the first lockdowns we have had globally. But we need now to readapt some of these vehicles and technologies for the delivery of these pharmaceutical products, which are very much different from the restrictive but not so restrictive conditions of foods, for example. So we need to cope with these aspects, and it's a dramatic change.
A huge challenge facing ahead. Well, thank you very much, Carlo. Okay, for this interview, taking the time to talk with us, to talk with our conference people, and I hope you have a very nice speech. I'm sure that people is wondering to talk to you and watch our speech. So thank you very much, and I hope next time I could see you personally in Brazil, not only virtually.
Definitely, I hope so too. Okay, thank you. Muito obrigado.
De nada.
Olá.
Bye bye.
Olá.
Tchau.
Bye.
Tchau.
Bye.
Interessante essa entrevista com o professor Carlo, falando de Smart Cities, um tema um hot topic, vamos dizer, e